That's a heck of a lot of money. She gets a cut out of this.
Today we are going to be talking about Lexi Reed, or better known as fatgirlfedup on Instagram, weight loss influencer, especially on Instagram. She has lost over 300 pounds. She was 485 pounds at her highest, and she started to garner a lot of popularity on Instagram in about 2016.
This is interesting because this gives as a backstory how you have these fitness influencers out there who, for better or for worse, some are good and some are terrible. This is the genesis of how if you got in there early enough, almost like a gold rush, you could hit jackpot and you could become famous, whether it's on Instagram or YouTube.
I think at that time, social media had been around for a little bit, but it wasn't what it is now. And so there was a lot of novelty in finding someone that you could relate to. And so this was something that I also was able to garner a lot of popularity from, because a lot of people would find me and they'd think to themselves, wow, this is someone that's lost weight. That's not some huge celebrity type of person. I'm going to follow them. And that seems to be what happened with Lexi. And on top of that, Lexi is obviously a woman, and I know this sounds crazy, but women in general are more interested in weight loss. And so you'll see a lot more women in the weight loss space. And so that led her to garner even more popularity. Like, she has over 1 million followers on Instagram. But a big reason for that was obviously an insanely impressive weight loss journey, over 300 pounds lost, as well as being very relatable. So a lot of people really flocked to her page back in 2016. About Lexi and these scandals that are going on, I would be remiss not to mention DietBet.
Now, what is DietBet? Something somewhat scandalous. Why is that? DietBet had pretty good intentions, I would say, when starting out. Maybe they never did. Who the heck knows? But the point of the matter is that it's a system where to make money in DietBet, other people have to lose. Meaning you put money into a pot, supposedly to motivate you to lose weight. And if you're the winner, you win some of the pot. It's pretty misleading because some of these pots can be huge, 100K, stuff like that. And you think, oh, wow, if I win, I'll win all of this. But the problem is, for you to win that money, everybody else has to lose. You're essentially making money by people failing at their weight loss goals. Not that just they're losing money, they're actually failing at their weight loss goals. There's a kind of messed up kind of thing. And as a matter of fact, even when some people win, they essentially earn less money than they put in. Not the greatest thing at all. It's very controversial.
DietBet was an incredibly huge, at first, it seemed like a really cool thing to do, and it seemed really awesome, but then it kind of devolved into more of a scandal and almost like a scandalous type of thing. So I do want to spend a little bit of time talking about DietBet and the issues people had. But again, this is an entire video on its own that I actually have recorded in the past, so I will link that in the description. But I wanted to spend some time explaining the issues that people had with DietBet. If you are not familiar with DietBet, what it is basically it's a website that they run these things called diet bets. What is that? Well, you basically go to the website and you sign up for whatever diet bet it is. Normally they last about a month, and in that month you're supposed to lose a certain amount of weight, and if you end up losing the weight, you receive some of the money that is put in the pot. Because when you first sign up for the diet bet, you put in, usually it's about $30 to $40 to say, if I don't lose this amount of weight,
Now, it should be noted, when people start, they can cheat. I mean, you could eat foods like just with a ton of sodium, salt, drink a ton of water, artificially inflate, starting with a bunch of heavy meals so they're in your system, so people can kind of game the system.
I'm giving up this money, right? That's the whole thing. You're betting on yourself. That's their whole slogan. And so at first, I remember I saw it and said, oh, this seems pretty cool, to motivate people to lose weight. And so I actually have done diet bets in the past. I think I did 2 or 3 back in 2016 or 2017. And I remember I got to a point where I decided I no longer want to do this. The reason for that was because I started to notice the way that I was making money off of the diet bet was literally tied to people failing the diet bet. Because something that I don't know how obvious it is now, but when I started doing them, it wasn't obvious to the people participating, but I made 10% on my first diet bet. And then I remember I had meetings with DietBet and they said, as you do more, the percentage that you get goes up because DietBet also takes a cut.
Now, just for context, this has been reported online that Lexi Reed has made hundreds of thousands of dollars.
But I made 10% on the pot. Now, so say if it's a huge pot, which sometimes they could get really large, you're making thousands of dollars per diet bet. But again, I felt really weird taking the money because the money I'm getting is from people signing up and failing, right? And the other thing on top of that is the people that quote unquote split the pot would make maybe $10, sometimes even less. And so
you pay $30 or $40 to enter and you win $10.
they would sign up for this diet bet, see this huge pot, right? $100,000 in the pot. And they think, oh my God, if I lose this weight, I can make so much money. They win, quote unquote, win the diet bet, and they make $5, while the host, as well as DietBet, are making away with thousands of dollars, right? And so that's really the basis of the issue that people have with DietBet. Again, so I did about 3. I decided I no longer want to do these. Now, when it comes to Lexi, she has been very, very active in doing diet bets. So she has, I think from what I remember, she was doing like one basically every single month, which is like pretty insane. But again, people started to figure out that fact that I just shared with you. A lot of it, I think, because of the video that I made, not to toot my own horn or anything, but people started to realize, holy crap, people are making a lot of money by doing diet bets, right? By hosting diet bets. And so she was hosting all of these diet bets, and it was very easy. Again, I can't say whether or not the numbers are the same as they used to be or if they've changed or anything like that, the percentages, but when I did my first one, it was 10% of the pot, right? So it's very easy to look at the pots of all the diet bets that are going on and saying 10% of that is $15,000, 10% of that is $10,000, right? And people started to realize, wow, this person is making a lot of money off of these.
Let's pause this right here and rewind a little bit. So bets placed, $7.2 million, 52 games organized. That's a heck of a lot of money. She gets a cut out of this, a commission, essentially.
So it's very easy to look at the pots of all the diet bets that are
And if you notice, she does these quite regularly. She's doing them very regularly as well.
are going on and saying 10% of that is $15,000, 10% of that is $10,000, right? And people started to realize, wow, this person is making a lot of money off of these diet bets, as well as people having an issue just in general with the fact that someone is making that much money literally on other people failing to lose weight, right? So it was,
you know, if you're talking 10% of this, that's quite a lot of money, obviously. Talking 700K right there.
it was this really weird situation. Even with all of that stuff that I mentioned, people were still signing up, obviously. And now a lot of the issues.
This is the issue with the whole fitness space on social media. Even when scandals come out and something is proven to be bad or nonsensical or downright shady, people stick behind these people or these products. Yeah, they lose a bunch, but they gain a bunch. How is this possible? Marketing. Imagine you've never heard of Fat Girl Fed Up or any other scandal out there. And you're on Facebook, some Facebook ad pops, or you're on YouTube, some YouTube ad, and you go, oh, wow, that looks interesting, or that looks cool. That person has a cool store, or they look amazing, blah, 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 blah. Of course, they're gonna have a killer marketing program. So you're gonna click and then you get sucked in just like that. That's the issue. So maybe a couple 100,000, couple million people see a video like this. I mean, not mine, this guy's. And tens of millions will see the ad. And this is how these things help to perpetuate. Plus, once people get emotionally attached to some of these people, it's hard for them to let go. It's incredibly hard for them to let go. They're like hardcore fans.
A lot of people had with the diet bets, especially with Lexi, was there was a lot of things that were promised, whether it was giveaways, whether it was, I'm going to be in the diet bet constantly, I'm going to be commenting, I'm going to be active, right? So
now that's another controversial bit, right? Because what started happening over the years is that she started to put back on weight, a good amount of weight, as you'll see eventually in some of these video clips. So here this person is making a lot of money in a diet bet, claiming that she's working out, losing weight with you, she's there with you, but she doesn't communicate. She appears to be not losing weight anymore. In fact, she appears to be gaining weight. She stopped doing videos. The last YouTube video was like 2 years ago or almost 3 years ago. Just lots of pictures, and then people are accusing her of posting the pictures.
So there was a lot of advertisements basically for this diet bet. We are going to be doing this, so you should join. And so people were like, wow, that sounds like a good value. Let me spend my money on this. And then the diet bet would happen. No sign of Lexi, no sign of these giveaways, no sign of the things that were promised, and people had an issue with that. And then on top of that, when the issues were getting brought up, allegedly comments were getting deleted, people were getting blocked. So a lot of people were getting very upset and they felt
This sounds familiar to the show I did called Scammed. Fitness influencer being sued by the state of Texas. Very similar, except in that case, it's a very beautiful lady, all kind of scandalous stuff, and her fans are still following her. Here we got this other lady over here. She's lost 300 pounds, scandals. She still has over 1 million subscribers, our followers on Instagram. People are pretty hardcore.
very hurt, and a lot of them felt very tricked by the fact that, oh, this is what I was promised, and they were given something completely different. Hello, this is Editing John. I found this post and I wanted to read it out, so this is what it says. It'll be on screen as well. To our DietBet community, thank you so much for your recent feedback regarding our host, Lexi Reed. Your thoughts are incredibly important to us, and we take your feedback seriously. After much consideration, we've decided to continue our partnership with Lexi in 2020. We look forward to helping her continue to inspire thousands of players along their wellness journey. Lexi is committed to making improvements in her games going forward, such as more posts from Lexi, transparency, when she is participating in the game versus coaching, and additional follow-up steps for when players may not have received their notices to claim their prizes. We deeply value our community of diet bettors. Like our games, we strive to create a positive, supportive space on this page so that we can share our players' success and provide encouragement. Should you have any questions or concerns regarding Lexi Reed or your DietBet games, please contact us directly at support@waybetter.com. All of those issues were happening with DietBet, and there were also some other issues I'm not really going to talk about, more personal relationship type issues that
I think I already touched on the salacious stuff with the husband's friend. Leave it at that. Because you are determined to transform your body, you made it to the end of this video. To get more tips about how to look great and feel even better, check out one of these videos you see on the screen. I'm sure you'll enjoy them. So later's my massive. Me a go long now. For those who don't speak Jamaican patois, that's goodbye, my people.